Men of Bharatvarsha, brothers, common man, farmers, workers, office goers, security guard, the bartender, the delivery driver, the Amazon package boy. I am addressing this video to you. We all know our places, but a few sector a part of this society of India, of Bharat, has forgotten their places, has forgotten their position, and most importantly, they have forgotten who put them there. We live in a time where all the powers outside of this country, China, Russia, USA, Australia, the Western world, Europe, is advancing at a ridiculously rapid and incredibly extraordinary pace because the AI revolution is here. They're moving fast and fast and fast. The world is developing in ways we cannot imagine. Society is being restructured down to the last atoms. The fabric of society is being twisted, changed, and altered to adapt to the new world. But we have not yet adapted. We retain the same fabric, the same atoms, the same structure of the society as it was in 1947. We still hold on to the past, caste, religious politics, division in class, division in north, south, state versus state, division in Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Sikh. While the world ahead is developing in fast ways, not for the betterment of this nation, no, but to the detriment of this nation, because we know what happens when you are a laggard, when you are left behind, and when changes are happening and you choose to be isolated, you choose to stay behind and to stay in your own cozy bubble, stay in the room and wish that the world is not changing and everything is constant. But you and I know that the nature of life is change. After the sun comes the rain. After the rain comes the sun. After the day comes the night. And after the night comes the day. Spring, fall, summer, autumn. The seasons keep changing. Seed, sapling, plant, tree, death. Every time and everything in nature changes. And so do the times. We, the common people, the Uber driver, the Swiggy delivery boy, the worker, the farmer, the office goer, middle class, lower class, the Keralite, the Punjabi, the Nagaland man, the Gujarati, all of us common people, the 99% society realizes that change is occurring. We realize that change is happening and we must stay ahead of the curve and we must jump on the bandwagon to change now. We must not miss an opportunity because we all remember what happened when we missed an opportunity. Do I need to tell you about the Industrial Revolution and how that caused millions of deaths in this country? Why? Because our kings, our zamindars, the ruling class, left us behind. They chose not to advance the world. And that same thing is happening now, and we recognize it. We may not recognize it so far into the future, but we instinctively think that change is occurring. And this change is not about a new election, it is not about a new coalition, it is not about this political statement or a new leader. No, it is change happening on a global scale. And the feeling most of us have is of anxiety, is of uncertainty, and even a tinge of fear. That is why we must demand change, and that is what we have been feeling. That is what we want. That is what we are feeling deep inside. Our expression is to adapt with the change, to not be left behind, to get rid of this fear, anxiety, and uncertainty, whether it be jobs, unemployment, education, political power, division, salaries. But the most important thing is we want to secure future for our children, and we feel that the future is becoming more and more uncertain. You can look at it. You know what's happening. You can notice the global trends that's happening. We're seeing more wars. We're seeing more isolationism. We're seeing the death of global liberalism and all this globalism. We are seeing the death of that. We are seeing the companies becoming more and more multinational, more and more profit oriented, and less human oriented. We are seeing how economies are just fluctuating and crashing and going up and down based on the stock market. We are seeing changes that we do not associate with stability and better future for our children. So we would demand. But those ruling elites forget that they are merely representatives of us, the people. They are merely representatives of the common will. They are merely the voice of us. They have forgotten their place. We remember our places very clearly. Society makes us sure. The delivery driver, he knows damn well that he cannot afford great health care. He knows damn well he has to live in this tiny 10 by 10 feet room and share with two with the others. He knows that he earns peanuts, 9,000, 12,000 rupees, like an animal he has to live. He knows he has to eat the stale, unhygienic, and dirty food on the road. He knows he can never afford the Land Rover. He knows he can never afford the Mercedes Benz. So he tries, he knows his place very clearly. The office goer, he knows that he's being taxed an excessive amount of money. So much of it goes directly to the bank. And then he comes home on that bumpy road, breaking his state of mind and breaking his car, that bumpy road, the traffic. And then he wonders, is this really where my tax money is going? Where did it go? Then he sees that when the politician comes, when an MLA comes, the entire road is cordoned, it is blocked, and the entire road is cleared. All the thousands of people on the road who has to go to the work, who has to go to the hospital to see their sick mother, who has to go to see the birth of their child, who has to go and take care of his family, returning home after a long day, all of them pushed on the side. And a big convoy will come of this petty MLA of a small constituency, takes them so fast with all bodyguards and a big hulla on the side. And he says, is this where my tax money is going? And he says, yes, this is where my tax money is gone. To push me off the road. The office goes knows his place. The farmer, he knows his place. He knows that he has to wake up every day at 4 a.m. in the morning. He needs to sow the seeds which are GMO modified because the companies force him to purchase those and not able to replant his own seeds. And he knows that he cannot deal directly with the customers. He cannot deal with directly with others. He needs to go through five, six middlemen who all take more profit by doing nothing. But he gets a tiny amount of profit, all the hard work of growing rice. And then people are so surprised, especially the bourgeois middle class is so surprised when the farmer decides to commit suicide, when why there is so many farmer protests, why there are so many farmer annoyances and grievances against the government. They are so surprised. You see, we, the common people, know our place very clearly. We also know that our place can be improved, our status can be improved, because we have seen that happen in other countries. You don't see the German farmer committing suicide, do you? You don't see the Japanese farmer committing suicide, do you? You don't see the worker in, say, Denmark, Switzerland, an industrial worker that commits suicide, do you? You don't see the office goer there being pushed apart. No. We see it with our own eyes. We know change is possible. We know we can get a better life. But those who we put in power after 1947 have forgotten this. They have forgotten this. While the entire world is getting stronger and stronger, focusing externally, While China is trying to isolate this country diplomatically by connecting alliances with Southeast Asia, Sri Lanka, and Pakistan, creating a noose around this country. We are interested only in Sigma edits and red eyes of our great foreign minister. We are focusing all our internal energy, all our political power, all our strength to divide this nation. But when I say we, it is only a 1% of society that profits from these divisions. Political class. They divide on Hindu Muslim, they divide us on North South, they divide us into Dalit Yadav, they divide us into upper caste, lower caste, they divide us into OBC, SC, ST, all these imaginary and artificial divisions that serve no one and has benefited no one in the 78 years. Because if we choose, we can get rid of all these divisions and we can remove all this internal fighting and focus all our energy externally to develop this country, to improve the quality of life of everyone, and to really make this country a Vishwaguru, not what is happening now, not when the Pahalgam attack happened or when the Delhi attack happened. You saw that the world didn't really give a damn. You know that. You know that in the world is insulting and abusing and humiliating Indians, calling them disgusting terms, creating new forms of racism throughout in Europe, America, and even we see countries underdeveloped than us even being racist against us. And the world doesn't care about it. Does that show the quality of Vishwaguru? Does that show power? No, the world doesn't care. The government doesn't care. We are being humiliated, kicked, treated, and being thrown out, treated like animals. Yes. In fact, when the black man got killed in 2020, I believe, there was the biggest protest in recorded history. But when an Indian man is getting killed or when he's humiliated, you see nothing. It is encouraged by the world. Is this what Vishwaguru is? No. And what we want is a real Vishwaguru where that does not happen. Where if you, or say, look at the Arjikar case. In 2012, we all fought against the UPA government, which we now consider as a whole different face. And now that the current government is so godlike, it is so Ram Raja, it is from Swarga. Lord Rama has come in the form of our Prime Minister to lead us out into Vishwaguru, to make us great into Vishwaguru. We believe that. But 2012, we saw the Nirbhaya case. We saw how hideous the status of women was in this country. And then we protested violently, hugely. Yet look what happened just 2 years ago. Another hideously, horribly case of someone's daughter, someone's child being in such a disgusting situation. And if it was your own daughter, if it was your own wife, you think you would have let it go. No. That is why we all came out on the roads and we protested so fiercely. Yet, have we seen any true changes? No. We were pissed at the UPA government for the 2008 Mumbai bombing. And has it changed? Look what happened this year, the Pahalgam. And even more humiliating, right in the capital, right in the middle of this capital, the heartbeat of this nation, we had a terrorist attack in Delhi, which is just 1 or 2 months back. And that country that is behind all of this, that is profiting from this, has been unpunished for many years, whether it was the current government or the government back in 2010 or 2000, they have been playing this game and getting away with it. All we can do is we can only scream, we can only shout, we can only make memes, we can only express public disapproval. And our leaders can only say, we will give them a punishment that they will never forget. But what happened when America did it? When someone tried to mess with America? Just one time, 2001. And ever since that, no foreign act, no foreign entity has ever dared to mess with that country. Is the value of us commoners, of us so little, worth like a fly, that we die doesn't matter? Are we really just profit numbers? Are we just really vote numbers? Are we just really paper ballots? Are we just numbers to give a damn about during elections? No. Because what's been happening is that the people in power have, as usual, just like in the British time, where the zamindars and princes could not give a damn about the hundreds of famines killing all the farmers, artisan weavers, because they were getting pension by the British. They were playing golf with the British. They were playing horse riding with the British. and the British gave them beautiful, luxurious palaces and huge pensions. You think they give a damn? Same thing is happening here. The same thing is happening right here. When you take away the British and you take it and replace it with those companies that have decided more and more that they are all about profit and less about the human factor. Those companies that do not look at people as humans, as people with souls, as beings, no, but looking at them as profit numbers, stock numbers, and statistics. That's all they see us, and more they're selling this country out to them, just like in the butcher shop. They cut the sheep into the leg piece, the calf, the head piece, the neck piece, the loins, stomach, cutting it into all these different parts, breast, and all of this right in front of the lamb. And now when I say the lamb, I mean it is the future generation. I mean it is our children seeing and so pissed with what's been happening in the last 78 years in this country, seeing it and butchering it and giving it away to different customers, different companies across the world, different Swiss bank accounts across the world, different politicians. This has to stop. We did not get rid of the British because we did. Hindus did not get rid of the British. Muslims did not get rid of the British. Punjabis didn't get rid of the British. North Indians didn't get rid of the British. Keralites did not get rid of the British. Bengalis didn't get rid of the British. The Dalits didn't get rid of the British. The upper caste didn't get rid of the British. Yadavs didn't get rid of the British. You know who got rid of the British? Indians, Bharatiyas, Aryans. We all did. It was because the Punjabi farmer, a common farmer in Punjab, wanted Azadi just as much as a factory worker down in south in Tamil Nadu. He too wanted Azadi because both of them wanted Azadi because the Nagaland tribesmen wanted Azadi and because the Gujarati merchant wanted Azadi because every single one of us wanted Azadi. We could do one of the greatest feats in human history. We overcame the selfish Samandars, the selfish princes, the selfish upper classes, and one of the most devious tyrants and oppressive rulers of all time, the British. We got Azadi. Similarly, do you really think that we can get development, we can get Vishwaguru, we can get national strength if we are busy fighting North and South, Hindu and Muslim, like the politicians believe? No, because the politicians do this for the sole reason of two things: to get the seat and to get the money. Because to achieve any endeavor, whether it be Vishwaguru, whether it be permanently stopping terrorist attacks, never again stopping rape forever, and reducing wealth inequality, fixing unemployment, and keeping this economy more human oriented and not profit oriented, we need national collective union. We need national will. We need all of us, the common people, to realize we have done this before in Azad. You think Bhagat Singh hanged only for Punjabis? Do you think Subhash Chandra Bose fought only for Hindus or Bengalis or Muslims to liberate this part of Bengal or to win this part of territory? No, they fought for the Azadi and freedom of this entire nation. You think the freedom fighters who were chained to cannons and had their hearts ripped out by cannonballs, you think they died for their caste or a small part? No, they died for Azadi, the entire nation. Remember, our ancestors have died and bled for the entire nation. Right now, the politicians only fight for certain sectors of society, dividing us. Same with tactics that the British used. We must realize that we demand Vishwaguru status and we demand us to become the greatest country. We demand us to become strong. We demand us not to enter into a century of Chinese control or a Russian control or American control. And we, as usual, play the second fiddle. We, as usual, play the stooping down. No, it's time we get into the game. It's time we develop our country and it's time we chart our own future. Gentlemen, we must realize that when the wolf realized that he could no longer hunt and kill the sheep, he chose to dress up as a sheep and he killed again. When the fox realized that the chickens were no longer being let out free for him to eat, he had to enter the coop, promising that he will protect them. We will protect them from the wolves. The fox used that cunningness, and that cunningness is seen here. We were pissed with the government of the last 60 years, saying that they changed, and this new one we believed was to be the total opposite. But slowly and slowly, after 14 years, they know this. That is why they have such a huge media apparatus, influencers, YouTubers, and the entire media to put their photos and propaganda everywhere. They know this. That is why they have just changed their appearance, put on the sheepskin, promising the chickens that I will protect you from the wolf, even though I'm a fox. This trickery is what has happened. And we must realize that they are chameleons. As long as they refuse to look at the big picture, refuse to unite this nation, instead of dividing it into Dalit, SCST, South Kerala, all of this, there will be no true change. And we need true change because this is not about elections, coalitions, or who comes to power in Maharashtra or who comes to power in Bengal. No. It is about keeping up with the global world and it is about making sure that no man is left behind. It is time that we chart our own destiny in this country and in this world, and Bharat becomes number one. Bharat no longer will be humiliated and will be considered lower, the lowest people being insulted on social media and in real life, hundreds of racism attacks that will stop. It is time we get the quality of life. It is time that instead of thousands of immigrants every year escape from this country, that people want to emigrate here. That's how development should make it. It is time we stop this infighting, because we know it's possible. We got rid of the British. Why can't we get rid of the corrupt politician too? It's time we forge our own destiny. It is time for Bharatvarsha, become united and become the golden bird it once was.